I was telling, Canon 586 says that all institutes enjoy the true autonomy, just autonomy. Now, local congregation, we don't say local congregation, canonical language is congregations of diocesan right, institutes of diocesan right, diocesan right. Actually, nowadays they call it diocesan law, more than right. Some of the canonists are saying diocesan law and pontifical law, but we are traditionally using diocesan right, pontifical right. What is the difference between these two? Diocesan right and pontifical right. Since yours, all of them have the autonomy. With regard to the congregation of diocesan right, first of all, they are under the special care of the diocesan bishop. That's what Canon says. The diocesan right institutes are having special or under the special care of the diocesan bishops. Special care. How does he exercise his authority over the diocesan right institutes? One is, he presides when the superior general is elected. When the superior general is elected, the diocesan bishop presides. That is one thing. Second, he approves the constitutions. Approves the constitution, and later on when there are changes, it is the diocesan bishop who approves the constitutions. If it is pontifical right, it is the Holy See which will approve the constitution. Diocesan right, he approves the constitution. Then, when a sister in perpetual profession leaves, he gives the dispensation. Dispensation for a perpetually professed sister. In the case of pontifical right, it is the Holy See. Dispensation. When a sister is dismissed, he confirms the dismissal. Confirms the dismissal. The congregation dismisses the sister, it must be confirmed by the diocesan bishop. In the case of pontifical right, Holy See must confirm. Only then the sister will be informed. Confirmed. Then one more thing, in the case of diocesan right, the bishop must be informed about the finance of each community. Financial situation of each community must be informed to the bishop. Informed to the bishop. Otherwise, diocesan right and pontifical right does not make any difference. Any difference. So some people think we are pontifical right means we are superior. No, only minimum things for which they are under the authority of the diocesan bishop. So for these matters, you depend on the Holy See, they depend on the diocesan bishop. That's why Canon 586 does not distinguish. All institutes have just autonomy. All institutes have just autonomy. So, diocesan. But whether diocesan or pontifical, you are under the authority of the bishop. Even though you are under pontifical, you are under the authority of bishop for three matters. For three things, you are under the Canon 678. 678. You are under the authority of the bishop, diocesan bishop, for 3 matters. 678. Somebody who has taken, please read.
In matters concerning the care of the souls.
First one is care of souls. This is especially for clerical religious. It does not concern you. Care of souls, especially we refer to celebrating Holy Mass, hearing confession, anointing the saint, all that the priest alone can do. That is the care of souls. So no religious priest, for example, can say, this place, some community is there, I am their parish priest. If he wants to take care of souls, it must be assigned by the diocesan bishop. Care of souls. The next one.
The public exercise of divine worship.
Okay, this is it. The next one. Public exercise of divine worship. Please note it. Public exercise of divine worship. That means all liturgical matters. You come under the authority of the bishop. You are celebrating the jubilee of your convent. You want to have dance, welcome dance. Bishop says nothing. You cannot say, no, bishop, it is allowed now. Bishop is the one who implements the liturgical law in the diocese.
And other works of the apostles.
Yes. Don't allow me to talk only further. Okay. Want me to finish fast. So all liturgical matters. Private prayer, you do what you want. Bishop says, in my diocese, don't celebrate Mass with shawl. Means follow the liturgy. It is the bishop who is the person who decides with regard to liturgical matters. Don't say I am religious. Private prayer, you want what you want. You stand upside down also and pray. That is your problem, private prayer. But then, public exercise of divine worship. Follow the liturgical rules and regulations. In this context, I have to say quite a lot with regard to some of the things that are happening during the Holy Mass. Holy Mass. Especially the choir in our churches, especially in the convents also. I think they will operate through the choir members sometimes. Sometimes they make the singing more melodious. So, some sisters will be choosing the offertory song during my homily only. I get so irritated. I stop the homily and then tell them, sister, please finish selecting the song, then I will preach. I don't want any distraction when I am preaching. Another sister will come and change the candle only at that time. Don't you know that this candle will not last the whole Mass? At that time only. Then after 5 minutes of my preaching only, she will come and check the mic. Like the dog barking 10 days after the thief came. All this you have to do before the class, before the Mass. Everything has to be done. Preparation for the liturgy is needed. Showing the missal and the lectionary if needed to the celebrant before the Mass. Otherwise the whole Mass is affected. Prayerful atmosphere is affected. You will be going on turning the pages. Everybody is restless. They can't pray. When at all you will find out the prayer, people will be wondering, why can't you show it before? Before. Preparation and altar cloths, neatness of the vestments, the corporal, the purificator. Bishop Morrow, the SMI sisters, Sisters of Mary Immaculate, they are also dressed like Mother Teresa, Bengali, same blue border. So he has written very clearly, sisters, you take the vow of poverty. Don't impose on Jesus on the Eucharist the vow of poverty. Torn one, shabby one. The best you have to offer. Whenever I go for Mass to them, I see, I know the writings of the founder. So neat and tidy they will keep. Not only their white saree, But also, I used to admire how they are keeping their saree so white. I used to, and so nicely, he has written like that. These are very important. Some of the choir singing new songs. New songs, okay. New songs, okay. But then let the community sing at least the chorus. At least the chorus. Sometimes I begin the Our Father, I myself don't know. They sing something. Some new translation, new tune, whatever it may be. Let us all pray the Our Father. Already the celebrant takes 90%, gives 10% or 5% to the community. And out of this 10%, 9% is taken by the choir. No people's participation in our liturgy. Those of you who are good in singing or animating the choir, please take care that all these people. And then again, there is the responsorial psalm. It is part of the liturgy. Can you change the first reading and the gospel? You cannot change. So also you should not change the responsorial psalm. Learn to sing that, not suddenly one song. Where it will come, we don't know. It may be a love song. Only here and there you add Jesus. So responsorial song, beautiful song. It is purposely chosen to go along with the first reading or gospel reading. Why do you change it? If you don't know to sing it, at least recite it meaningfully. And then prayer of the faithful. Unendingly going on singing something. I want to finish the sermon, 7 minutes. And this fellow is singing, go on singing for more than 7 minutes, the prayer of the faithful. I want to finish the Mass in time. Going on singing, singing and singing. First stanza, second stanza, sing. But everything should have proportion in the Mass. And some of the sisters take me to the pre-Vatican Mass. You know how pre-Vatican time we have to celebrate Mass like this. Here I celebrate Mass like this. They hide my face even by the flowers they keep on the altar. What is taking place on the altar must be visible. Don't keep anything on the altar. Only the candle at the end. Let the people see me. When I don't have eye contact, I cannot preach. I cannot pray with devotion. Put a stool or anything in front, keep in the side or here, there and all. They don't know every time. They are keeping was, never is. Only was only. Some of the experts. Please take care of all this. And as if I am in a bush, I have to see like this. See like this. Don't hide the face of the celebrant. Let him be seen. It's a community celebration. It is a community celebration. Those who arrange the Mass, don't dump everything on the altar. The altar is not a dustbin. It signifies Christ. Don't keep on the decoration. See, everything is important. Liturgical rules and regulations. Introduction to the lectionary, please read. An introduction to the missal, you have to read. You should know basic lessons of liturgy. Very important, especially preparation. Everything shows. Some of them come and read. I don't know, first sentence itself I will find out whether this person I can listen or not. Lesson or not. What is intelligent reading? You should prepare it, practice it. For example, now we have first readings from the first epistle to the Corinthians. Okay. So, when a sister is reading from the first letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians. So this is it. I have heard number of times. First reading, the first sentence itself, I will know whether this person will read something sensible. Otherwise, I will switch off my hard disk. Switch off my hard disk. So in this, how you will read? You will read this. This is the first one, proclamation. Some sisters they will say a reading from or the a reading from the first. Many sisters have read St. Paul to the Corinthians. First letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians. So, in this, what I expect is, you have to stop, for example, a reading. See, from is preposition. Preposition and the object must always read together. Preposition. Never stop after a preposition. Basic English. Never stop after a preposition. From the first letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians. These are the different phrases that have to be read together. So, suppose you want, what you have to read? A reading from the first letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians. Only when a sister reads like this, I know that she knows to read. All other things I don't care. Here itself she doesn't know where to stop. A reading from the first letter, if you want you can stop. That is a short expression, so you need not stop. A reading from the first letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians. So I asked the students at least to stop twice. A reading from the first letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians. You have to read like that. Otherwise, somebody is reading from somebody. Some people stop after the article. How can you stop after the article? How can you stop after the adjective which immediately qualifies a noun? He is a good boy. Can you say? No. He is a good boy. That's all. Good boy. Boy is qualified by the adjective. So, a reading from the first letter. So many people have the tendency to stop after, because this noun is very difficult, so they take time by stopping after the article. They simply read. Stopping after the preposition, not allowed. Transitive verb and its object should be read together. A bit of English grammar won't do any harm. Okay, we go to that. What I am saying, preparation for the reading. Some people come there. I asked some sisters and seminarians, did you understand what you read? Please tell me what you read. No, Father. Then, what you have done, in order to fulfill the requirements of law, you have made some noise, that's all. You have made some noise. Reading with unction. Reading with the unction. With spirit. With fire. With fire. Without no feeling whatsoever, some are reading. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees. Jesus is, woe to you, scribes and Pharisees. Like that somebody. I did not come to bring peace, but division. How Jesus would have said it? He would say, I did not come to bring peace and division. As if it is. Feel it. Active voice. Quotations. Must be read as quotation. If I were to listen to some of your readings, then I will know. Maybe at the end I should ask you to read. Simply. To give. Proclaim the reading with unction, conviction. I used to go to Pamali, to Indranagar Resurrection Church here, nearby. So there is one lady by name, was working in that defense, Agnes. She used to like my reading. So one day she said, what, Father, you are not reading, the deacon is reading. I don't like it only. Even if you don't preach, you have to read the gospel, Father, I want to hear, she said. Then that day parish priest was there nearby. Then he said, today deacon is not coming, Father will read. Father will read. She was very happy, eagerly waiting for my reading of the gospel. Then another priest came from that Montfort Institute who was studying psychology. Then he said, Father, shall I concelebrate with you? Then I said, okay, concelebrate. And then when there is if there is a deacon, deacon must proclaim the gospel. When there is concelebrant, concelebrant must be asked to proclaim the gospel. This lady was eagerly waiting in the first bench for me to read. Then this father goes and reads something. She's so angry at me at even the mass only. Then at the end of the month, parish priest told you that you can proclaim the gospel. Why you gave to that priest, he said. She asked me soon after mass. No, but when parish priest told me, we didn't know there is a concelebrant. There is a concelebrant, he has to read, I said. She was so disappointed that day. Then we proclaimed the gospel. Now what I am saying, you have to proclaiming the gospel, proclaiming the first reading, even if the priest doesn't preach well, if you have read it with faith and unction, you have done 50% of the homily already. People must carry the words, at least one sentence from your reading. You don't understand even a phrase. How can people will carry from your reading? You can imagine. Very careful. Train people in reading. And then they are struggling for pages in the book only. Some will be struggling. Wow. Find out where they already they are sweating. Then eyes dim. They don't see anything. Make all kinds of mistakes. Very important. Preparation is important. Come before time for the Holy Mass. And then prepare. Do your duty. Liturgical matters. Follow the universal law. Follow the particular law made by the diocesan bishop. All your coming and disturbing Mass. Avoid movements during the Mass. To arrange the mic, arrange the flower, arrange the calendar, the time only. Don't you know that there is a fan nearby and the vase will fall down and the water is spilled everywhere and the parish priest slips and falls down? Everything this is just lack of common sense only. Lack of common sense. So you have to be very careful. Don't make people fall down during the Eucharistic celebration. Liturgical matters, follow the directives of the bishop. And then also, you are in charge of the sacristy. Periodically, you have to change the host. The host must be renewed. The sacred host has to be renewed. And then sometimes you go on, you have to be very alert. How many hosts are there? And then it should not be corrupt. And you should tell, you call the priest once in 2 weeks or 3 weeks for Mass. That time also you forget. It's going on remaining there. And then sometimes you don't buy fresh host and give the old host to renew. It is as good as not renewing only. So all these things you have to take care of. The chapel, center of the community, must be neat, tidy, everything. Give the best to the Lord. These things have to be taken care of. Okay, so 3 matters. Care of souls, public exercise of divine worship. All these are important. And the third one, other works of apostolate. Works of apostolate. This is a very, very difficult proposition for the religious. All works of apostolate are under the authority of the bishop. Are under the authority of the bishop. All works of apostolate under the guidance of the bishop. What are the works of apostolate? Maybe education, healthcare, social work, evangelization. Bishop is the coordinator of all apostolate. You want to start a nursery school here adjacent to the provincial house, you need the written consent of the bishop whenever you involve yourself in the apostolate. Suppose you want to have some program for the juniors who are already there, no need of going to the bishop. The members of the congregation are under the authority of the superior. Those who are not members are all under the authority of the bishop, even if they are Hindus. Don't say, Father, here there is no Catholic family, only 100 Hindu families, we are going to minister to them. No, you have to get the permission of the bishop or any apostolate also. Any apostolate. When a congregation starts a new community in one diocese, the initiative can come from the bishop or from the congregation authority. Initiative can be from both. But then we always say the written consent of the diocesan bishop is required. Otherwise, here there is no Christians, no priest, no bishop. So I want to start a community in this place. Written consent. Suppose you want to start a community in the moon. So written consent of the Pope is needed. Prior written consent of the bishop is needed. So when you have an apostolate, charism, you will have charism. The charism may have many works, as I already told you. Many works you may be involved. So you cannot say we are going to do everything. You have to say what you are. 1 you may do, 2 you may do, in some places all the 4 you may do. This must be made known to the bishop. Suppose initially you start a school. In course of time other schools came, you want to convert it into a hospital. Or initially it was an hospital, you want to convert it to a school. Written consent of the bishop is needed. Because bishop is the coordinator of the apostolate. So many times I am dealing with problems of bishops being unaware of some of the religious, especially non-religious. They don't ask the bishop for some of the upgrading of the apostolate. Bishop wanted you only a middle school or elementary school. Suddenly that school becomes a college. Without the knowledge of the bishop, consent of the bishop, you should not do it. You have no power. Civilly you may have power, but canonically, even upgrading of the apostolate must be known to the bishop. Upgrading of the apostolate to a significant level. So this is what the problems come. That's why all these 678 works of apostolate are directed. Suppose imagine 10 congregations running 10 schools in the same street. Who will have control? Bishop is supposed to moderate. No, there is already 1 or 2 schools in that street. You don't start a school. Bishop will say. That's why you need the ecclesiastical authority. You need the ecclesiastical authority. You are within the church. You are under the authority of the bishops with regard to the works of apostolate. So in this context, we see the starting of a convent, 609. Another sister, 609. Please read. What is the procedure for starting a community?
A house of religious institute is established with a prior written consent of the diocesan bishop.
With the prior written consent of the diocesan bishop.
By the authority competent according to the constitution.
Constitution must say who is the authority within the congregation. Sometimes it is general, sometimes it may be provincial. New community. Whose consent is needed? Bishop's consent is needed. Bishop doesn't want you, you cannot establish a new community. Prior written consent. Bishop will give the consent, may be subject to certain conditions. I give you consent provided so many sisters are there, you are doing this work.